They got so much wrong.
When I see it online, I'm like, what do I do about it, you know?
Yeah, I'll turn the cheek a couple of times, but every once in a while, I'm gonna slap you back.
Our producers told us, y'all just don't sneak off and have sex.
It might have been during Cam's birthday party. And I had
Hey everyone, welcome to the Love Seat. I am Cameron Hamilton, and this is my incredible, beautiful, I said that already.
Oh, you
wife.
can say it again.
Yeah, I'll say it again. My incredible wife, Lauren Speed Hamilton. We are so excited to have you joining us here on the Love Seat.
Yes, so this is our very first episode of the podcast, and guys, this has been such a labor of love coming, but you know what? Since Love is Blind, our lives have changed in like so many different ways. We know that most of you guys were introduced to us 4 or 5 years ago now on the show, and you know, we really just want to use this podcast as a vehicle to show you that you don't have to be trapped in one box, and to also have a space that's all about connecting and learning and laughing. So that's what we plan on doing here.
Absolutely. As you said, this podcast sprung out of all the love and support that we've had poured into us over the last 4 years. It was really inspiring. People always are telling us that we give them hope for themselves, to better their lives, to find their partner. So we want to do this podcast to give people the tools, the practical insights to improve their life, whether that's relationships, love, mental health, personal growth. We want to give you as much as we can through sharing our stories as well as the stories for our guests.
We have some amazing guests for you guys today. Now, I know that y'all know Amber and Barnett from season 1 of Love is Blind. On our season now, we feel so lucky because they don't do interviews.
No.
They do not do interviews, and we thought they will be the perfect guest. One, because the topic is all about breaking out of the box. Lord knows that they all about that.
Yes.
Secondly, they have a story to tell, and so do we. So it was the perfect match for the first episode.
So without further ado, let's bring out Amber and Matt.
We're so happy to have y'all because we know you do not do interviews like this. So we are honored.
only for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and just so y'all know, this is going to be our premiere episode.
Yes,
so
this
you
is
guys
episode 1.
we're launching.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, this better be the best episode ever.
It will be. Let's jump into it. So, of course, we were all from season 1 of the reality show where we all met each other. And so,
OG Pod Squad. And
yes,
Yes.
OG Pod Squad.
I remember
You're
when
welcome for that, by the way, guys. We all came up with that. The
Yes.
Pod Squad.
I
Let
feel
that
like
be
somebody
known.
owes us some money.
Look,
They definitely do.
royalties, please.
Yes.
So let's just start with that. Let's start with Lib and the elephant in the room, okay? I know that everyone didn't have the best experience on there, okay? I know that you guys have even gotten some trolls creeping up.
Girl.
But there are so many people who love you guys, us included, rooting for you. Even when we're out together, people will come up, oh my God, I love you guys. So I wanted to give you all a chance to really clear up what's one of the biggest misconceptions that you've heard about yourself or that's just floating out there about you guys.
I guess I'm not a player.
You're
Oh,
not a
gosh.
player? Yeah, they did
That was,
have
that
you
was
looking
the
like
first
you were the
couples episode.
It
It
is
Ladies'
kind of
man.
crazy.
It wasn't that I was a ladies' man, it's that I was just really bad at ladies. So it was like I was so confused.
It was the opposite.
It was
you
the
weren't a
opposite.
ladies' man.
I was-
you just
yeah.
didn't know how to be like, it's not you,
And I
it's
think,
her.
yeah.
But you have your own charm. Like that's
Yeah.
part of your own charm,
Yeah, you
right?
know.
That you just you're not like, oh, what's up, baby? Like you're just
Oh,
Hey,
Lord.
girl.
I don't know. There was a time or two. He might have thrown that out there. A little, hey, girl,
Well,
how
Oh,
you doing?
yeah.
after a few drinks, maybe it did come out. Who knows?
Those late night, the late night
because we were
podcasts.
roommates.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I was there for it all, for the whole. What is he gonna do? What is he not gonna do? So it's crazy. We go back 6 years. Can you believe that was 6 years ago?
can't believe it.
Honestly, no. I forget that that's even a thing sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
looking back, you're like, oh, this is how you met. And wait, did we do that? That sounds ridiculous. That's not real. It's like a
like a weird
past,
dream, right?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
fever dream, like a
Yeah.
past
Yeah,
life
yeah.
thing. I would say the misconceptions. I get obviously super frustrated with a lot of the editing, and that is what Hollywood is. It's what they do. And honestly, I was really naive going into it. But my biggest frustration is more with social media and the way that they take everything at like it's gospel.
Face
like
value.
Yeah.
what they saw was exactly what happened, and there were no alterations, and that's what they base their judgments off of. And it's like, oh, darling, not only were you not there, but you're like getting your information not even secondhand. Like somebody was playing telephone with
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and you're hanging on to it 6 years later. Like, it's old news.
Yeah.
Like they got so much wrong. Like it would take forever to get through all of the things that they got wrong about our relationship, because they were so preoccupied as producers and editors getting drama that they missed. I think they missed a lot of the really great stuff that we had going for us in the pods and when we got out of the pods, and they didn't show why we fell in love, really. They didn't show why we matched. They didn't show that we had, football rivalries and had so many things in common.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to me as y'all's friends, because I've seen you. I love you. I mean, you guys are so much fun. You're so caring to the friends in your life. And no, it's really frustrating that to see these people not really get who you are, and when I see it online, I'm like, what do I do about it,
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. Is just let them judge and go about your day. That's the way I handle it. That's not
we're a
necessarily
little
the way she
different on
handles
that.
it.
We're a little different on
Amber's
that.
like, I told you.
I am obviously a combative personality. When I think something is wrong, I will stand up against it. And people are allowed to think what they want to think about the show and form those opinions. The problem comes when they start forcing those opinions on us and like tagging us about it.
Like it's truth.
Darling, like, I don't care what you think. Like, why are you telling me this? You're harassing me about something that's got nothing to do with me. Like, that's on you.
I do think it reflects more so on the person, like when they come with all this negative energy.
Yeah.
It's really just a reflection of their own insecurities and fears and whatever.
Honey, why are you here? Like, go.
Why are you even on
You
my
don't like
page?
me? Okay,
Go
why
away.
are you coming to me?
Right. There's so much to see here. Like,
Absolutely. So speaking of that and perceptions, one of the biggest things that everybody went crazy with, and we know our season was a long time ago. It's been 6 years. We've
I know.
grown so far since then, all of us. But I just want to give you a chance to really clear this whole thing up about these student loans.
Oh, my God.
Can we please, so people
Yeah,
can
let's put this
stop
to bed.
asking you
How much
and
money
stop-
did you put
Here's the
on
deal.
my loans?
Here's the deal: is I screwed up, and they took it out of context in one of the scenes that they filmed, like when I was doing my little interviews, and I said I used selling my house money to pay off student loans, and I paid off my student loans. I had like $40,000 in student loans that they didn't air on
Right.
the show.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
is
was
a
still paying
normal
them off,
amount.
and I was like, I sold my house, I had all this money, like let's get rid of another payment, Let's just live.
He
easy.
didn't mess up. They did that on purpose.
Well,
Yeah.
because I told them outright I didn't appreciate the initial edit.
and what you
And so they're petty.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people don't put it out there, but Chris Colleen is petty. Those producers are petty. The moment you say, oh, I don't like something, I don't appreciate something, is the moment that they're going to use it against you and edit the exact opposite of what you want. Like, they're, they're dirty. And they
they're
knew
sensitive.
exactly
That's
what they
what
were
they are.
doing. And if you hadn't said it that way, they would have asked you the same question a million more times until they got a clip that they wanted to put it in there the way they wanted.
That's one of
You
the
know
things
it.
that you don't understand when you're doing this, and they're asking you to answer a question multiple times. and,
Yeah.
like, 2 days later, they ask you the same line of questioning, and
Yeah.
you're like, I already did this, but I'll give you what you want because I'm over it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they use the one thing you say wrong and make it a
Yeah.
whole
That's it.
storyline.
It's
know?
crazy how they do try to
Yeah.
like wear you down
Yeah.
over
They-
time.
They used to get so mad at me because I would get fed up and they'd ask me the same question and I'd try to come at it from a different angle, and then I'd stop. I'm like, what do you want me to tell you? What
Right.
answer are you looking for?
Right.
What do you want me to say here? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not what we want you to say. It's what you
like,
think.
I
And I'm like, I
answered
said
I
what
already
I think.
said what I
I
think.
said what I think. I don't have anything else to say.
Right.
The amount of times we talked about money when
oh
we
my
had no
God.
interest in talking about money,
Yeah.
we were like, we were having fun, having a great time, and like, can you talk about, finances?
Right.
And we're sitting there like having a freaking blast, and they just like ruin the mood, and they're like, well, what do you think about paying for the wedding that you guys are paying for? Like, stop.
They made us have a whole dinner one time talking about that, and they're like, we want you guys to talk about the wedding, and I'm like, okay, we're talking about wedding planning. They're like, okay, no, talk about paying for the wedding, and I said, but we're not, you guys are paying for everything. Like, well, let's just pretend. And then they made it look like I was trying to get Matt to pay for everything, and I'm like,
wow.
I was so salty when I saw that, and I was like, now I see why you guys were trying to like do what you were doing. I know better.
It's like y'all were in the financial box, and then for us, every conversation was like, but you're black and he's white. I'm like, we're eating salad.
Who's talking about that?
How does it feel being black and he's white?
I'm like, I answered this 80 times to the point where my dad actually told, because they kept asking my dad too, like time and time again. He's like, damn it, I said, quit asking me this question over and over again. So I think a lot of people don't realize reality TV, they kind of put people in these archetypes.
Sure.
And it's like, you have to fit into this box. And then people just think that's who you are after watching the show. It's like, well, that was technically edited to show you a narrative or a story.
It was intentional,
for sure.
They try to pass it off as like trying to connect you with the audience. Like, you'll connect with somebody specifically. Right. And but it leaves you as so one-dimensional that you don't really get anything else out of it.
It's kind of insulting to the audience to that point, because it's like, they're making this tacit assumption that the audience can't understand that people are complex, multidimensional people, but we all are. We're not just our race and the money and the age differences and all this type of thing.
Let's talk about After the Altar, our season, because it was a lot of drama happening. Okay, so walk me through this. Let's clear the air.
The irony is that there is not as much legitimate drama as everybody thinks that there was. So after the first episodes came out, I told Matt I didn't want anything to do with the show already, because I was like, they're shady, they can't be trusted. And when they came to us about After the Altar, Matt wanted to do it. And I was like, And they had to talk me into it. So the producers were like, what do we have to do to make you comfortable with this? And I was like, well, I am tired of you guys making Jessica our story. Like, that's not our story. Like, keep her separate. If we do After the Altar, we're not going to interact with her. Like, we're not going to feed that narrative anymore. And they're like, okay, yeah, we agree. Like, you don't have to, she'll be there. And I was like, that's fine, but we're not going to interact. And they're like, okay. And I was like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, you don't have to interact with her. And the night of the party, she shows up. All right, cool. The producers come over almost immediately and like, oh, Jessica's here. I'm like, okay. And I had already set that boundary. I had
we already talked about this.
Look, we talked about this. And the producers kept pushing me and egging me on, like, oh, well, she wants to say this and she wants to do that. And I'm like, I don't care. I have set my boundary. I have told you what's what. And like, they turned into this whole like heated argument with the producers, which I think is so crazy, because they're like, okay, fine, whatever. And if you go back and look at the actual footage that they put on the show, they're filming from like behind plants, and you never see
like hidden.
You never see Matt and I in the frame together, because they wanted to make it look like Matt and I were arguing about it. It wasn't me and Matt. It was me and the producers, because they were trying to violate my boundaries after I'd already told them. And then after they did that, that was when they sent Jessica over to just Matt, as if, oh, he's the easier one to get around. He is less confrontational.
I am less confrontational.
He is. When they took that and like juxtaposed it and just completely switched around the series of events that we were arguing after she came to him and blah, 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 like none of that even happened. Like, she was not even a concern for us that night. We're like, we couldn't believe they seriously tried it. Yeah. And we're like, oh, joke's on them. Like, they don't, joke's on them. They're not going to have no footage. But, man, we should have known better.
Found it.
They found it, and they twisted it all to high heaven, where it was like, I didn't even recognize what they were showing.
So what was the whole thing with the glasses? Like, the
champagne flutes?
I don't know. She brought it over, like, I guess that's the part that was kind of truthful. She came over with them and tried to hand them to me, and I looked down, and like our names weren't even spelled right.
Oh no!
I'm like, I don't.
Spell
like, I'm not
check
gonna take this.
No.
I'm like, I can't do this. Bye. Like what? It was like a group of like 4 or 5 of us just sitting in a circle talking.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of a
kinda
performative gesture.
Yeah,
it seemed like
insincere.
What I find funny about that after the altar is the fact that the premise was it was the 4 of ours 2-year anniversary, but they kind of, aside from this drama stuff they extracted and fabricated, they kind of relegated us to the corner of the room to have more drama that was totally unnecessary. People weren't even married, you know.
Gosh. Yeah. So, that was so annoying.
It was
because
it had to.
It literally was, because when I had gone over to talk to Diamond and Elsie about the whole Mark situation, and I know everybody gets so mad over this.
Yeah,
but that conversation got so like cut and pasted that like whole ideas and points, and like it was just random grab of words instead of what actually happened. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, like, you can't cheat on somebody that you're not exclusive with. And being friends with benefits or fuck buddies does not give you any kind of benefits besides the benefit.
Yeah.
You know, the sex is the only benefit. Like, you're not owed anything when you tell somebody, all I want from you is sex. That's all you get.
Yeah.
And then you get mad. It's like, you're a grown up. You walked into that. I'm not saying that, you know, her feelings didn't get hurt or whatever, which is, as a girl, like, I get it. Sometimes you get attached. If that is what happened, like, sometimes you get attached, your feelings get hurt, but also have some personal accountability that you wanted, like, a fuck buddy during COVID. You chose that. You chose,
which is crazy. Yeah.
Look, you chose a fuck buddy during COVID, and like, you took the risk. Like, it sucks. The situation did not turn out well, but like, you made the choice.
Yeah.
Well, bless her heart, we had the conversation, and she's like, I'm like, why are you even still talking about this?
Yeah.
She was like, I don't want to. The producers made her keep
bringing
it up and bringing it up and bringing it up. And she didn't even want to talk about it, but they were trying to position her for perfect match. So
that is true. I never thought about it as a setup for perfect match, but it makes perfect sense.
It does. Now. The drama. Well, I'm glad that we cleared that up. Thank you.
The drama, the lack of actual drama.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's a big takeaway from everything is there was not that much drama on our season specifically. I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Between some people,
you were the drama.
We were in our own world.
We were like living. I was the drama. I was the drama.
You are the drama of our season.
So ironic.
On the girl side, maybe not on
you
the guy
were the
side.
drama.
You were the drama. Wasn't he the drama of our season?
Well, like
the
3
drama?
girls were into him.
And then it like snowballed.
Oh, and that wasn't even. Oh,
I've
God,
never
that
been
wasn't even what it was.
We'll just say that.
Yeah, it wasn't what it appeared to be.
That
what it
wasn't
was cut
even.
up to
Look,
be.
the love triangle wasn't even a triangle or a square. Like, they literally wouldn't even let him break up with another girl in the pods until the final
day.
Yeah, the final like
build
engagement
the
day.
tension.
So it's like,
make it extra.
Yeah.
please don't believe anything you see on these shows. It's nice, but the story is fun entertainment, but don't take it to heart.
On that note, I wanted to ask Matt, what is something that you love about Amber that people don't get to see?
Oh,
Yes,
man.
what is something
Put me
you
on the
love
spot.
about
Well, I guess this is all being put on the spot. But I don't know. She just always brings the energy. That's like one of my favorite things about her. She always is. I mean, up until recently, but she always brings a lot of energy to everything, and she handles everything with almost over exaggerated amounts of energy, and I really do love that about her. So
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Okay, Amber, same question.
yeah, 100%. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Same question for you.
Matt is surprising to me. So a lot of what they showed in the show and what you kind of get when you first meet Matt is the bro. Like, he's the guy's guy, you know, telling the dirty jokes, which, I'm a fan of that too. But also when we have our moments and he gets down to that, like, sincerity, the way that he can be so sweet and considerate. And it's not just something that comes to him naturally. I'm being totally honest here. It doesn't come naturally, but it's very deliberate.
Yeah.
It's intentional. When he does, these caring things, and it's just like, I don't know, it makes me feel like extra loved when I know it's not like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
It's something that he does
Puts
on
the effort
purpose.
to do.
Means even more because of that.
Yeah. So that's.
Yeah, I'm not super
I love how
caring
intentional.
or loving.
No, I love how intentional he is. Like,
but you make that choice to be
Mm-hmm.
loving.
Well, I see how it makes her happy, so that's usually the thing I do.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Making each other happy. So we all have a 6-year anniversary coming up, which is crazy. Are we like a day apart? Our
Our
wedding?
wedding anniversary.
Which
Ours
day?
was the 13th.
Okay, we're the
first-
16th.
Okay.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
That was my
their we were their practice run. They didn't really care about our wedding.
No.
That's what it felt.
It counted.
Was my fault because I had to go.
Still counted.
I was going out of town.
Yeah.
What? It's all because of you?
He went on his
Okay.
bachelor trip after we got married.
Oh
basically.
my
Yeah,
gosh. So anyway, with that being said, we've all been married for almost 6 years. So I want to know, we just talked about the beautiful parts. What have some of the challenges been for you guys? I mean, 'cause I know for us,
We've had some challenges.
we've had some challenges, but we
Yeah.
all still here. Okay.
And
So
every
what are-
marriage has them.
Yeah. So I want to know, like, what are some challenges and how did y'all get over them?
You first.
Because no relationship is perfect. You know, we all have our things. Whatever you want to share. I mean,
No, you're good. The hardest thing I think is just our stubbornness. We were both very, very stubborn at our core.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like, sometimes it gets tough, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like we both get stuck in our ways. We want to do something a certain way, and the other one doesn't want to do it that way. And it takes a lot to get to a point of compromise where we both are somewhat happy with the outcome.
Same for us.
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry, I'm giggling because I'm thinking about all the stupid things we did on the way to that.
Getting to that
Like,
good point.
yeah, getting to
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
point.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's not
We've gotten
yet.
better.
How
Yes.
ridiculous some of our fights and arguments have gotten. Just like,
We were so immature when we first got married.
Like petty?
I think we were just so like, we're so in our own thing.
Amber's having a
there was
flashback.
one time.
Oh God.
We got into it, and I was so mad at him. I was like, you know what? Forget you. I'm going out. I'm gonna go have fun. I don't want to talk to you right now. And on my way
gosh.
out, he looked at my outfit. He didn't like my outfit, so he
Oh.
ripped.
It was so hot. though.
Like, you look too good.
No, her outfit
God
was hot,
damn
but
it.
ripping it
I
off
mean,
of her was.
needless to say, I didn't go nowhere that night, but whatever.
It worked. Hey, that's
It
a smart
worked.
man.
I still never
so
replaced it.
ridiculous.
Oh, you were supposed to replace it?
Oh, they don't even.
Yeah.
That's
like,
long
nah.
gone. That's
Long
whatever.
It was super hot though.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous stuff that we did
I
to
love
get to
that.
that point of where it's not I'm mad at you, I'm leaving and running away and
Yeah.
trying to, show you that I'm in charge. So
Right.
more of a, we need
Let's
to talk
stay
about this.
and work it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do
Yeah.
you guys do now then when you get mad at each other? Like, me and Cam like to make each other laugh. That's our thing. If,
To
if
diffuse
somebody's mad, one of
Yeah.
us will like try to crack a joke so you could be like,
Oh.
you get on my nerves.
Yeah.
He tries that sometimes. And
Does it
sometimes
work?
it works.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works.
It's only
and
the dirty
sometimes it
jokes that
doesn't.
make her get out of it. But
Whatever works, honestly.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But also, it takes us like a space. Like we need a break, like a space period to calm down.
Cool
Because
off.
I know,
Yeah.
like when I'm mad, I don't care what you tell me, whether it's
Yeah.
right or not. I'm not listening. I'm
Yeah.
right, and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. But
there's like one thing that I think like a lot of guys have the issue with is they want to solve the problem right then and there.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the right approach.
Yeah.
And it's
guy.
taken a while to learn
Well,
that.
that definitely
and
was.
So true.
and it's
That was a way for
like
for sure.
she'll shut down and be quiet and I should try to solve and figure out what the problem is first and then how to solve it. And it's like it only gets worse if you do that.
Yeah.
You got to give
It's
her
like
the
more
space.
agitating.
You
Like,
got to give her the space.
yeah, like
And that's
let
something
me
you have to
calm
learn.
down.
yeah,
Let me
It
first.
took a while to
calm
learn that
down.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still find myself struggling with it. So.
I think for me, the fear was like, if I don't solve it right now, it's going to get worse if I let it alone. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
like
It's going to
See,
fester. Yeah.
I have the opposite problem, and that's kind of just coming with understanding how each person deals with, issues. But I need a minute to calm
Yeah.
down because I really need to sit back and think about it without,
Emotion.
emotions in the mix. And then a lot of times, normally we'll come back together after an issue or an argument and just be like, okay, this is why I felt this way. This is what I had intended, but I understand that you saw it from this perspective, and this is what you were trying to say, and I'm sorry that I did this instead, and blah, blah, blah. Like, we really, piece by piece go through trying to explain ourselves,
Yeah.
why we were wrong potentially, or where the misunderstanding was,
Yeah.
and then making sure that we're also trying to address not just saying like, oh, this was my side, but I was listening
Yes.
and I see what you were trying to say too.
Yeah.
And this is probably where we both were wrong. And this is where we both need to fix it and be better.
Yeah.
So
I think that's such a
look,
good
that took
point.
us a hot minute to get to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
last
That's
week.
not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, even for like non-romantic relationships, like even if you get into it with a family member or your friend, it's like you just need to kind of step back. You say your piece, I say mine. We try to understand each other's,
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, that actually, like you said, Amber, like repeating back what you heard them say. I think that goes a long ways to showing like this is how I'm empathizing. Like I actually am listening. I'm not just waiting for my turn to
Yeah.
say my piece.
So ironically, I got that. And I think it was one of the times we started doing that as a friend of mine recommended a book to me. And it was kind of like a sales book. It's never accept no for an answer.
Okay.
And it's, it was basically,
You got some
a
memories
book.
from them?
it was basically a book written by this FBI agent that does like hostage negotiations.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I've heard of that guy.
And one of the first things that, like, one of the first tactics they taught was, repeating something back to someone. So if they're wrong, like, they hear it from a different point of view or whatever. And so I started, like, when he would say something, I'm like, okay, so you're saying this to make sure that he
Yeah.
heard, that he knew that I was listening to what he was saying.
Yes.
Right.
And I understood how he was saying it. And it was one of the best fights we had to that point thus far. And he goes, I think we're doing like really well. Like we've come a long way. And then I told him about the book and he goes,
Yeah.
are you serious?
So it's fair to say that marriage is a hostage negotiation.
Sometimes.
Get them to stay. That's a good.
It's this hostage,
Yeah.
You can get this.
Oh my God.
Wait, what? Never mind.
We're busting out the boy rat.
Sorry.
So okay. So we know that being married to married couples here, sometimes it can be hard to kind of focus on your individual self and also develop and evolve as a couple.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you balance, kind of having your me time to focus on me and do what you want to do, but also be sure that you're not like distancing yourself from your partner?
I think just spending time with our separate friend groups is like super helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a lot of hobbies that I do without Matt, honestly. We might be a little too codependent now that I'm thinking about it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean,
No, like we each have like our own separate things that like we'll do.
Yeah.
But-
you listen to your little smut books and
wait,
Wait
smut
a minute.
books? What books are
Wait, what smut
these,
books are we
Amber?
reading?
He's mad I listen to Akatar, whatever.
Oh, hey, I'm a big ACOTAR
It's
fan
not-
too.
it's-
It was
Look,
like this dragon
don't
with
be
the
salty.
throbbing schlong.
That
Yeah.
is not the whole book. You're
It's not
Every
missing-
time I
That's
watch
only-
it,
That's
you'll
missing
be
the
listening to
magic.
it.
That's only a couple chapters
Dude,
in the
he's
book.
missing
Come
the
on.
magic and the fairies, and then I just did like Fourth Wing not too long ago, and the dragons. Like, there's a lot of other stuff in there.
There's a lot of stuff. When they started talking about about wing play, though, I was like, okay, that's a lot. Yeah, like erogenous zones on the wings of the fairies. I'm like,
Like, they can't
I
know
love the
until they know, Kim.
yeah,
They
sorry.
can't know
I'm
until
giving
they
away
know.
way too
I've
much.
never
Spoilers over here.
Spoilers, sorry.
So speaking of that, I know you guys are fans of Dragoncon.
Yes.
And like doing the
Oh, yeah.
whole
Oh my gosh.
like dress up and all
You
that.
You gotta take Cameron with me.
Yes.
I know,
Yeah,
my
you
first
guys went together.
broke
a lot
my
of fun.
Dragoncon cherry.
Oh my god, it's getting real erotic with the dragons.
It was so much fun.
There were no
though.
dragons, by the way.
There were-
Yeah,
okay.
There might
very
have been,
few
like, one.
dragons for
And
a
it's called
Dragoncon.
Dragoncon.
Yeah, there's the blow up dragons.
Yeah, but that was pretty much it. No one dressed as a
like
dragon.
dragons.
Not this year. This year the theme was what was it? Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Chun-Li's. That was the biggest thing I saw. We saw a ton of Chun-Li's.
Street Fighter. Yeah.
Street Fighter.
It wasn't a theme. Like last year we went, it was like Barbie and Ken were everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The
gosh.
Barbie movie
You
just
would have
came
liked
out.
that.
Barbie and Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Barbie and Ken.
The
Yeah.
cool thing about Dragoncon is everybody blends costumes. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. So
Yeah.
Dragon Con, I had always wanted to go, and I had friends that went, but I could never get off work or find somebody to go with me, blah, blah, blah. But our first year married, Matt took me because he went with his friends.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, and we've been going ever since. And Dragon Con, I think if you're going to go to any kind of convention, any kind of con, like that's the one to start with because it is all fandom. It's not specified to just comic books. It's not
Right.
specified to just
Oh,
video
just
games or
any-
anime. It is anything, everything, any kind of fandom, and the more obscure kind of the better.
Yeah.
Because
The more
when you
respect.
see people with those crossovers and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know what that is. Man, it's so validating.
Yeah.
You're like,
So it's
yes,
like, oh,
my
yes.
tribe.
That's
My tribe.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I feel like to that point, like my biggest takeaway was like people were just letting their freak flag fly.
Yeah.
Like
Freak flag.
no, their freak flag was
What the hell is
full-
going
full
on over
wave.
there?
There is no, girl, come next year. There is no shame at Dragon Con.
There's
It
no
is so
shame.
fun.
And
So
it's a beautiful
you
thing.
guys know what furries are?
Yep, there's a few of those there.
So for those of you who don't know, I know that I don't know how we went
You
down
guys
It's
this
wanna
okay.
tell
road.
our furries?
Let it happen.
But
It's fine.
so furries are people that have sex dressed as stuffed animals.
As like basically like mascots.
Yeah, they look
Like they have
mascots.
like
Oh.
full body.
Do they
And
all
they
have
do
sex?
it with that
animal
on?
mascot suit.
How? With the thing?
Look, they
Cut a-
shove it
cut a
in,
hole, I guess.
stuff
That
it
is
in.
interesting.
Put it on the outside.
I don't
I
look.
was gonna say I'm not judging.
I've
it.
never been curious enough about
Yeah.
the ins and outs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just know.
Hey,
what
do
I
your
know.
thing.
I've only been to like 3 parties, okay?
Furries. Oh my
No,
god.
yeah, they have all sorts at Dragon Con. So there's definitely there. If you go to the market area, there's usually a little like a furry shop there too.
Yeah.
Where you don't have
their
to
own
be.
shop?
Look, they got
Hey.
shops. They got everything.
You want
but
a
you don't
chipmunk
have
head?
to be fully
You can find
into it
anything.
to like go check out a few things and
Yeah.
Yeah.
find a little something that you maybe think is like really cool and you just want to oh look, I like these cute little ears.
Yeah.
That's how
like
it starts.
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how it starts. But one of the things that I love about y'all is that like you are just authentically yourselves. You don't like try to shrink yourselves down because of social media or whatever. So like there are a lot of people though that are very inhibited and they're restrained by like limiting beliefs. So like what advice would you give them for getting rid of those limiting beliefs in their life and just like being them full selves?
You know, some people put you in a box and they feel like this is what you have to be or this is what
Yeah.
you have to
no
do.
shame
Like-
in your
But
game, baby.
You're a bro, you're a jock.
yeah,
you know,
you've broken out of that. You do your own thing.
Well, I've never been fully anything. That's kind of the easy way to put it. Is like I've never put myself in a box in general. So as long as you don't put yourself in a box, it's easy not to be put in a box, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
people say.
So,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think-
yeah.
I think it comes down to joy. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that sounds kind of corny, whatever,
No, not at
little
all.
crystal girl, but I think I realized a long time ago, like, if I'm enjoying something, why would I not want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And if I might enjoy this other thing, why would I not try that? Why would I not do this? Why would I not do that? If it makes you happy, why do you care if it is matching with other things that you like?
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
it
Where did
makes
those
sense.
definitions come from? Who
It's-
said?
Yeah. Speaking of happiness and like positivity, I know that we kind of touched on social media and how they could be a pain with all their opinions that they know nothing about.
Right.
But How do you like maintain your positivity? You know, because that's hard to do, especially like, you know, we kind of do some influencer stuff from time to time.
Yeah.
So even if we wanted to get off the internet, that's how we make our money.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to try to find positivity in the negative pool. So how do you guys do that? And it doesn't have to be just about social media. It could just be in general. How do you find your joy or your happy moments? Together or separate?
I disassociate. So
Okay, that's real.
I just don't like.
That's real.
You just shut down.
Well, I just I shut like I stop. I just don't think about it. You know.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way
Okay.
to
He
avoid
just-
it is not to think about it. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not.
He's
it
a
may not be
little
the right way
delulu
to
when
do
it comes to negative stuff.
I just,
I mean, if
That's
that's
how he
if
deals
that's how it
with
is,
it.
I
that's how.
delete it
I have
for
a-
your sake.
I have a
and move
pressure
on.
valve.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a pressure valve.
Yeah.
Where I ignored a lot and I try to focus on, you know, the people that are being really nice and remember that, you know, I'm really lucky in the real world with my real circle of friends and relatives and people that know me, like genuinely love and care about me and have always been there for me and supported me. So I'm really lucky in that aspect. So I've always held on really tight to that. And then to also have, you know, this network on the internet of people that like only kind of know me but still have love and support where, you know, it means a lot. So that, you know, keeps me going through most of the time. And then as that negative stuff comes in, for me, it kind of ignore, but like it still kind of stacks up. And every once in a while I have a pressure valve where I'll release and I'll snap on somebody because I got to remind you that the internet does not
knives
have.
No, I get it.
Look, the internet does not have separate rules for society. People
Right.
think that it does.
Say
like,
that again.
oh, it's the internet. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever. You shouldn't care. And I'm like, it's still people treating me a certain way.
Right.
And it is my responsibility to let people know how I will accept being treated.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I'll turn the cheek a couple of times, but every once in a while, I'm going to slap you back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell
And then
those pros.
once you slap them back, they're like, oh,
Oh shit.
Oh, shit,
That happens
Matt.
to us a lot too. Like, cause I'm like you, Amber. Every now and then somebody
him,
will
Lauren,
type
tell
something,
him.
and I'll just be like, you. And then they'll always come back like, oh my god, I didn't mean
I
it. I love
know.
you. Like,
I don't know why I said that.
That's always
Yeah.
my favorite. Is when
Yeah,
they, like,
maybe you
completely
should do some
switch it.
reflection.
It's like, oh yeah, okay. Why'd you say it in the first place? Yeah.
right.
yeah.
Again, I think that's it's a toxic thing that people are really starting to believe the internet isn't real.
Right.
And it's not, but it is. The rules for society, the rules for being a good person still apply. You're not invisible on the internet as
No.
you think you are.
No.
And people, a lot of times, I will just post what somebody else said to me,
Yeah.
and people get so mad, like, why would you say that? They might have just been having a bad day. And I was like, you know what? I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Hello?
Reaction.
Why
Hello?
am I held to a different standard
Right.
than they are? They still, if they didn't want the world to know these awful things that they're saying, they shouldn't,
They shouldn't have said it. Yeah.
Not
Because
up
you
in
have
my
the
DM.
platform. Yeah, to showcase what they said.
Exactly. Tell them about
yeah.
themselves, girl.
It
The
is
internet's not different than the real world, y'all.
That's
They're
right.
all
not.
interconnected.
Coward.
it is. It is all
You
interconnected.
know what? Back in the beginning, I'm guilty of this. Okay,
Yeah.
before I've kind of gotten over this, someone would leave me a negative comment, and I would go on their page and leave one back. But then I had to stop that. They would start screenshotting that shit and sending it to like the blogs. Like, look at what Lauren
Look what
wrote.
Lauren
like,
said.
you old
Girl.
mother. So I
Yeah.
stopped that. But
Yeah.
I got a few people back.
I do remember that. There was
Yeah.
one about a wig. I
Yeah,
can't
so I went on
remember.
this, and this guy had the nerve. He
Uh-oh.
had the nerve. So I went on his page, and I was like, I know you're not talking with this such and such. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that to me. And he like posted it and tagged all his friends. So I was
Oh
like,
my Lord, that's my favorite because then they'll delete the evidence of what they did. Like,
Exactly.
honey, I screenshot before I ever
Exactly.
reply.
don't even try
I
it.
I keep my screenshots on deck. Don't try. I
You
got
do
receipts.
keep those screenshots.
Yes.
I got
because
receipts.
We
Don't
see
mess
'em.
with
Like
me.
just a straight like,
She'd be like,
20
look at all
stories
this
and all this
person
crap. I'm like, oh,
I
God.
got receipts. Don't mess with me.
Matter of fact, let's put up one of Amber's screenshots right now, just so we can show.
Look, I had somebody one time come to my page and they were going years back, like saying the most
Digging.
obscene, rude things about whatever, just
Like,
off the wall
oh, you
stuff
look
as
crazy in
mean
this
as
prom
possible.
picture.
Oh no!
Wow.
If it was me and a male friend, like, oh, you just sleep with everybody. Does Matt know what a whore you are?
What?
Like,
What is
hold
wrong
the
with
phone.
people?
And I was like, excuse you,
Yeah.
like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
Like, check yourself and blah blah blah. And then I would post some of the stuff they did, and then like change their entire little notation thing on their page. If you're
Yeah.
here because of Amber from Love is Blind,
'cause-
she started with me first and she attacked my business and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
honey, you have like 60 followers. I don't know you.
Right.
Why
Why
leave Amber alone?
What?
I mean,
Switched up their
Leave her
whole
alone.
story. It said I was attacking them. And I'm
yeah. Well, I think it's a thing where people, they see us on TV and they don't think that we're people like them. They see us as something else. I know, like, we've been out before,
Yeah.
4 of us, and people are like, this, I don't know why this drives me crazy, but people are like, can we take a picture of you? I'm like, you don't want to be in the picture with us? Like, come be in the picture. Like, no, we
Yeah.
just want it for whatever, our photo out. It's like, that makes you feel like a circus animal or
Oh,
something.
it's
Yeah.
better than the ones where they're creeping by, taking it with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you see that of yourself later. On the
Like,
internet.
was that us
like
in
the
the
back
grocery
of my
store?
head.
Oh,
Paparazzi style.
Oh, what a moment.
My favorite was like when the show came out, like
Yeah.
like the first week or second week when nobody had been actually married or anything like
Yeah.
that, and like
Oh.
we were out in public,
Yeah.
like casually out in public, and people were taking pictures of us from behind, like.
They're
I
together
know.
And
still.
I'm like
They're
getting
together.
tagged on everything. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, 2 weeks in, like this is weird. You
They
know?
were Yeah.
That first
so
month or
weird.
whatever was.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I know what my expectations were like doing the show. What did
Yeah.
you guys have like for
Yeah.
expectations
Like going into it?
going into the show? But then also once we wrapped filming, before we knew what the show was going to be like
Yeah.
when it came out, what did you think the response was going to be?
That's a great
Ooh.
question.
Going into it, I didn't know what to expect because they were so like hushy with me. I don't know if they
Yeah.
were like that
Weird.
with
They
you,
were
but it was
weird
like,
about it.
well, it's just a dating show. We can't tell you too much. So I
Yeah.
didn't know we was being kidnapped. I didn't know if this was a
There was a
real
very good
thing.
chance.
Remember they
I
put the
was
garbage
thinking-
bags
The garbage
on the
bags
van?
I
on
was
the
thinking human
windows.
trafficking, and
I
I
thought
was
it
like,
was too.
I told one of my friends where I was at, and
Coulda
I was
been.
like clicking pictures, and I was like, if you can't find me, in
I
a
was sending
week-
my mom photos.
know.
Yep.
It was pretty scary. So,
I-
but once we got to the set, it was like, okay, this is a real thing. Going into it, I was just like, I didn't expect to get married. Like I was open to it, but
that part.
I was just kind of like, if I get married, that'll be great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I wasn't like meditating, like, yes, Lord,
I
you're going
must
to
have
be
a husband. I
married.
must have a husband.
And then once it came out, or before it came out, I didn't really want to have expectations because I didn't want
Yeah.
to be disappointed.
Be
Like I
disappointed.
didn't want to be like, oh my God, this is gonna be so great, and we're gonna be on the
Yeah.
show. And then it just nobody watched it, and it
That
flopped,
happens with a lot of reality
or we
shows.
got like a lot of hate, or it just wasn't the best experience.
Yeah.
So I just try not to have any preconceived. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna fly by the seat of
Oh,
our
man.
See what we
pants.
see?
There was so much mystery leading up to it. You get emotionally invested in the casting process at a certain point where at first you're like, okay, let me just see where this goes. But then as the months go on, you're like, okay, now I'm like, I
Can't
need to
believe
be
it.
on the show. And I remember we did the psych evals.
Oh.
That's where
I
y'all
love to
met,
tell this
right?
story.
Y'all
Yeah.
met?
That's where I met Matt for the first time. And I was in this frame of mind where like I had to wear a suit to everything. And I just
I was a
see
little judgmental.
Cam was ready. Cam was ready for like the secret camera.
He
I
He's
know.
like,
always
you're not
wore
gonna
suits
catch
when we
me
first got
slipping.
married.
I know.
And I was like, why do you have a suit on?
I just, I was like dressed to impress, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now look at him.
Now look
Good
at
job,
me.
you
I've got my like Moroccan caftan, which I love.
Casual chic.
Casual
Yes,
chic.
casual chic.
And that was the dress code for today.
I like casual
Y'all did
chic.
great.
It's a great dress code.
It is a dress code. But one of my first thoughts was like, I had never seen this is going to sound crazy, but I'd never seen this many handsome guys in one room. And it was kind of unsettling because I'm like, wait a second. First of all, I want to be the only handsome guy. But second, like, it was just weird to see like this many, like one dude looked kind of like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that guy.
Then I
That
saw
guy
this.
was scary.
Yeah,
To me too.
yeah,
This guy
yeah.
was really good looking.
Yeah, this guy was
Oh, crap.
handsome.
He didn't make it on the show.
No, thank God, thank God.
Show his
I mean, we
Australian
couldn't
accent
see
or
him
something. I
anyway.
didn't-
Right, the personality may not have
Yeah.
been there, but then I saw Matt. I was like, "Fuck, like another handsome guy." Like,
Oh.
but I did want to say, like, on the topic of like breaking out of the box and like what people like, I mean, y'all already know, like people see me as like Mr. Lovebug, and like they have this idea that I went into the show like I need to get married. I'm ready to get married. For me, it was like I just wanted a chance to talk to some women, get a 2-week vacation from my job.
Oh, Kim, you're so wholesome. And
I know.
innocent. Oh my God.
Everyone thinks I'm so wholesome.
Never told a dirty joke in his
Never.
life. What?
I know. So that's the thing. It's like I just want people to know, like, people are not so one-dimensional. You know what I mean? And it kind of, it's like you want people just to see all of you.
Y'all, Cameron was totally telling Lauren dirty jokes. If you see clips of her blushing, that's probably why.
Cam
just
actually
saying.
has a lot of personality, and everybody thinks he's this like super quiet. Now
Serious.
Cam is cool, calm, and collected, but he has like a goofy, crazy side to
Yeah.
him too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh my God.
Felt like that. A little bit. I don't know.
So as
Third
we
wheels.
as we wrap this up, okay, so like how's life now? Like catch everybody up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what's next? What's new for you guys?
We got a lot of things going on.
Mhm.
You know, it's just going back to school. Matt's got a new job. He's really working up in. I know a lot of people when we first got together. He's like, "Oh, he's an engineer." Blah blah blah. Y'all,
Yeah.
he worked in construction. And
Whoa.
I'm not knocking it.
Whoa.
I'm not knocking it. He was an engineer that worked in construction, but he hated his job. Like it was very. Look,
Is that
There's
accurate, Matt?
nothing wrong with construction.
people.
Nothing.
No.
Things need to be built.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
it. It was a great job. It's just people like act like we were, you know, so many classes
yeah.
apart from each other. And I'm like, look, he worked, I worked, you know, it's not what you think. But he did not enjoy working in construction. So, you know, we spent some time looking around for him, and he's, you know, in sales now, doing his thing and working up with that, really enjoying that.
Awesome.
I went back to school.
Yes.
Finally decided on something else I want to do, because Lord knows I changed my major so many times, but sent myself back to school because I felt like we were in a place where I could do that. Like
Yeah.
I had the support and I was mentally there where I could do that. And then over summer break, he just went and knocked me up. And I had
Oh!
There's a baby
Oh.
Barnett on the way.
Hey.
so now instead
So
of
was this
working
after
on-
Cam's party?
I think
Might have
so.
been
It
Because I
might
was
have
like,
been
I
during.
kind of did the
Might have
math.
been
and I
during.
was
Wait,
like,
bro. home.
It might have
Wait.
been during Cam's birthday
During?
party.
Not during.
Wait, did y'all
during, but,
sneak
like,
away?
It might have been.
Y'all
It might
was
have
in the
already
bathroom?
been. It might have already been because I
Oh.
was bartending that party, and I know we were all getting turned.
Yeah, we were.
So little baby B might, you know, come out ready to
Party.
to throw down with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't
that
that
was
something?
Oh
very
my God.
very unexpected.
Well, the biggest congratulations to you guys. I am so excited.
I'm ready to be an uncle.
We already talked about like planning birthday parties with our kids.
I
and
know,
going
I
to
know.
Disney.
We need
me
to
and
hurry
Kim
up.
already talked about that. I'm not
Yes.
pregnant yet, y'all.
Not-
So let me clear that up. Not yet. So before you guys go, we just want to play this really quick game. It's called Love Seat Confessions. So-
Uh-oh.
Basically, it's a rapid fire game. You just give us the first thing that comes to mind.
Uh-oh.
First thing, don't think
First
too
thing.
hard.
Do y'all have
that's-
your
that could
beeper
be bad.
ready?
I
Little
know.
beep, beep, beep.
I know.
You met me.
I know.
That's okay. You can curse. We're done.
Oh, curse.
Okay.
But cursing for y'all might be different.
All right. Number one is, what is your go-to date night activity?
So this is a complicated one because we don't do date nights as much as we do like little getaway.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's
Like,
that's
we
what's up.
can travel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
If
it.
we
That
can.
counts.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the better cook?
Is it
What do you
inside
think?
or outside?
Here's the deal.
Hold on.
I'm very
Hot
sensitive about
dogs
my
don't
cooking.
count. Look.
No,
Hold on.
no.
Is it inside or outside? Because I throw down in the kitchen and he is my
great
smoker
with meat.
man. He's the meat
Okay,
man.
he's
The
a
meat
He's
guy.
the
smoker.
he gets
All
on the
meat.
grill on the smoker. He's the meat
Stop
man.
it.
What?
I'll meet all day.
Stop. Okay.
All
Next
right.
question. Next
What?
question.
We're having fun. What is
All
one?
meat all
What? What's one thing that you do that drives the other person crazy?
Breathe. No.
Call of Duty.
I play video games. You know.
Yeah.
Call
That's
of
probably the.
Duty.
Amber, do you
But
ever get
Amber
on the
plays.
stage?
What do you
Do you
do?
play?
On minor.
Do you
Amber
play?
plays.
Not
No.
Call of Duty. I don't.
We played games last
That
night.
it makes okay. That's Jackbox. That's different.
Yeah.
But you,
That's a little.
yeah, if you
that-
like
that's
the
a
game.
little-
Trivia
okay,
is
I do.
fine.
Okay.
I like games, and I try so hard to get Matt to play games that I can play with me, but
Yeah.
they're not. He likes to be able to sit at the computer and yell and scream and like
get it out
lose
somewhere.
his.
Yeah.
I don't yell at you.
That's
That's
true.
true.
That's
No,
good.
no,
Yell at the
no,
people
no.
on the
You
video.
gotta
He
game.
channel
goes
it.
crazy, and he's like, "Oh, it's so much fun." And I go, "You sound so angry all the time." I like to play
fight.
calm
I'm angry
games.
but happy.
Yeah, I have to
outlet.
channel it into
I
fighting.
like
Yeah.
calm games. I like chill games. I
Like
like to play
solitaire
Battleship.
and
Battleship.
Okay.
Classic. Classic.
War
Right?
game. It's all about
Dang.
fighting.
I know, but I can sit and drink and like we'll have little
calm.
chit chats and it's fun. You have to
Yeah.
talk to me.
So between the both of you, who's more likely to start an argument?
Me. Ooh, wait.
Ooh,
Him. Ooh,
what?
wait. Oh, that one's kind of a toss up because he'll do something to start the argument, but it won't really be started until I pick it up.
Oh,
Because
Okay.
I'm the one
He'll
that's
lay it
like,
down,
I'm not.
see
He'll
what
lay
you
it
got.
Yeah,
down.
he pushes
He'll
the buttons.
bait you.
Yes.
What's it called? Green?
Yeah.
Green lit? No.
Gas.
Gaslighting.
I don't gaslight. I've
No,
never
no.
gaslighted.
Gaslighting's a little different.
Yeah,
Okay.
he likes to push the buttons,
I
and
don't
the moment
actively
that
push the buttons.
oh yes
She
you do.
thinks I do, but
That's not true.
I said it one time.
You
that on
accidentally pushed it. You brushed it with your elbow on
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
I have asked him
Yeah.
before because he was getting into it, and I was trying to be calm. I'm like, why are you doing this right now? Why are you doing this specifically? And he goes, I just want to see if you get mad.
You're a Scorpio, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's why. I do that too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I know.
I
yeah.
do that as
I'm
well.
like-
You just gotta kind of see, like, make sure that they're still there with you. You know,
Yeah.
like I just want to see if he's gonna react, if he loves me
Dipping
like
the
that.
toe in the
I
test of
know.
the waters.
If you
Yeah,
didn't love
she-
me, you wouldn't get mad.
That's true. You gotta care enough to get mad.
Yeah, that is
Baby,
true.
I love
That
you
is
so much.
Maybe it's a
I
Scorpio
know.
thing.
So much.
true. There is a
Obviously.
little bit of that where you're, I like, I feel like it comes like when I'm like, I walk out of the room and you're like, Cam, and I'm like, yes, and then I'll answer the question, go, and they're like, Cam, and they keep calling me back and back.
Oh, this is what else do I do, Cam?
Yeah, we're like,
The question was to us, not to you.
He had to get that out.
it's on my spirit, I guess.
It was on your spirit. He had to get that up out of him, I guess. Well, everyone
You know,
can-
you never know what's gonna
We
come
can
up
be
on the love
therapy
seat.
too, you know?
Yeah. It's a group.
Everyone needs
It's a
therapy.
group confessional.
Okay, tired of me calling you guys.
No, no. I,
Here, do you want to hand those over?
Cam,
Take the cards.
maybe I should get on the love seat. What is the? Did you write this one?
Yeah, you want me to ask?
No, no.
Okay.
What's the wildest place you've ever ... wink.
the attic of the venue where we got married, probably.
That was
Yeah.
probably the.
There was a Santa Claus in front of me.
Yeah, Santa Claus, the one that like dances. We hit it was.
You hit the.
Yeah, to make it
God,
dance.
yes.
Then we use the
Actually,
rhythm.
we heard about that. Our producers told us, like,
Yeah.
y'all just don't sneak off and have sex. Because Amber and Barnett, we couldn't find them when
We
we
couldn't
were
find
filming the
them.
wedding.
Problem was
They were
the attic was
upstairs
too
getting it
small.
on.
We
I
heard
hit
them
my head on
yelling.
the
Look at
ceiling
no,
one
it was a really
Yeah.
low like ceiling. We were in like we were all crunched in there. We just
With
wanted
the
them
Santa
to go
Claus,
away.
it was a lot going
Look,
on.
there was a lot of
Storage,
space,
you
but
know?
we literally heard them like walking past, like looking,
like,
Barnett, Amber,
Oh.
and we're like, "Ooh, stop, don't move. And like we literally stopped and
the
froze for a
squeaky
second,
floor.
like mid.
Oh, no.
We literally froze and waited for them to pass.
That's
On that
amazing.
note, I think that's just a mic drop.
Yeah, it's a mic
I
drop.
think that's,
I
we
mean,
love y'all.
It's an honor to have you for like the first episode.
It couldn't be anybody else. Me and
No.
Cam were thinking like it can't be anybody else.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
like y'all have to
Thanks
be
for
our.
having
And just
first guest.
FYI, we wouldn't have done this for anybody
no.
else.
Oh, we know.
Anybody
Yeah.
else
We
asks us,
know.
we're
That's
no.
why we feel so honored.
We're not getting dressed up or nothing.
Thank you for being a friend. Okay. Thank you. guys. Oh my God, that was a crazy episode. There's a baby Barnett on the way, y'all.
I can't believe it. I'm so happy to
I'm
hear that.
so happy for them. Auntie and uncle.
I know. We're going to be over there all the time. I hope, if they let us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for tuning into this amazing episode. We definitely took a walk down memory lane, cleared up everything that needed to be cleared.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
So
happy
now-
we cleared the air. It needed to be done.
So now when you watch our season again, it's going to be like with totally different eyes.
Yes, yes.
So we want to hear from y'all.
Yes.
Okay. So we want you guys to hit us up. Tell us what you think. You can email us at officialloveseatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and slide in our DMs at officialloveseatpodcast.
Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and write a review. All the things. because we really want to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely. So we'll see you next time
On
the
the
Love
Love Seat.
Seat.